Hello gardeners, every time you peel potatoes for dinner, you're literally pouring garden gold down the drain. That starchy, cloudy water you've been discarding contains a treasure trove of nutrients and beneficial compounds that can transform your garden from struggling to thriving. Fermented potato water isn't just another gardening fad, it's a rediscovered practice that connects us to resourceful gardeners of the past who understood that nothing from the kitchen should go to waste. Today, we're diving deep into this sustainable secret that costs you absolutely nothing and delivers results that will make you question why you ever bought commercial fertilizers, from kitchen scraps to garden miracle. Creating fermented potato water is almost absurdly simple, yet the transformation that occurs during fermentation is nothing short of remarkable. Start by saving the water every time you boil or soak potatoes. Don't add salt or any seasonings. You want pure potato water with all its natural starches and nutrients intact. So, you're going to want to pour this cooled water into a glass jar or a food-grade plastic container. Fill it about 3/4 full, leaving some room for those fermentation gases to do their thing. Then, cover it loosely with a breathable cloth secured with a rubber band, or you can use a lid, but make sure you don't seal it tightly. Fermentation produces gases that need to escape, and you definitely want those beneficial bacteria from the air to find their way in. Find a spot for your container that's away from direct sunlight, where the temperatures stay relatively stable. Ideally, you want it between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and now, the patience part kicks in. Let it sit for about 5 to 7 days. You'll start to notice the water becoming cloudier and developing a slightly sour, earthy smell. Don't worry, this isn't spoilage. It's actually a good sign that beneficial microorganisms are multiplying and breaking down the starches into simpler compounds that your plants can readily absorb. After about a week, you'll have a potent liquid teeming with beneficial bacteria, enzymes, and bioavailable nutrients. Strain out any potato bits that might have made their way in, and your fermented potato water is ready to work its magic. The biggest mistake gardeners make is trying to rush the process or fermenting for too long. Less than 5 days and you haven't given the beneficial bacteria enough time to establish themselves and break down the starches effectively. More than 10 days, especially in warm conditions, and you risk the fermentation going anaerobic or developing less desirable microorganisms. The sweet spot is that 5 to 7 day window when the liquid smells pleasantly sour like kombucha or sourdough starter, not putrid or overwhelmingly foul. Trust your nose. If it smells rotten rather than fermented, start over. Another common error is using water from overly salted potatoes, which can harm plants when concentrated through fermentation. Always use plain water for this purpose, the living science beneath the surface. So, what makes fermented potato water so effective isn't just the potato nutrients themselves, it's actually the entire ecosystem of beneficial microorganisms that develop during fermentation. Lactic acid bacteria, which are similar to those found in yogurt and kimchi, colonize the starchy water and create an environment that's really hostile to harmful pathogens while being incredibly beneficial to plant roots. These bacteria, produce enzymes that break down complex compounds in the soil, making nutrients more accessible to plants. They also produce organic acids that can help mobilize locked-up minerals in your soil, basically making existing nutrients more available, without adding anything new. The potato water itself actually contributes significant value beyond just being a fermentation medium. Potatoes are rich in potassium, which is a crucial nutrient for flowering, fruiting, and overall plant vigor. When you boil or soak potatoes, this potassium leaches into the water, along with smaller amounts of phosphorus, calcium, and trace minerals. So, the fermentation process doesn't actually create these nutrients, but it does transform them into forms that plant roots can absorb more readily. The starches in potato water also serve as food for soil microorganisms, which, effectively feeds the soil food web that in turn feeds your plants. You're not just fertilizing, you're building a living, functioning soil ecosystem, and gardeners who've experimented with fermented potato water report noticeable differences within just a few weeks. Leafy greens develop deeper, richer color and more robust growth. Tomato and pepper plants produce more flowers and set fruit more reliably. Even struggling seedlings perk up with improved root development and stronger stems. The microbial boost seems particularly effective at helping plants resist stress, whether from inconsistent watering, temperature fluctuations, or pest pressure. Plants treated regularly with fermented potato water often show that ineffable quality we call vigor. They simply look healthier and more vital than their untreated neighbors. Incorporating fermented potato water into your routine represents a larger philosophy of zero-waste gardening where every resource is valued and utilized. Start your first batch of fermented potato water this week. Document your plant's condition now, then observe the changes over the next month as you apply this nutrient-rich brew. Share your results, your observations, and your own refinements to the process. Subscribe to the Living Soil Lab for more sustainable, waste-reducing gardening techniques that prove the best solutions are often the simplest ones hiding right in plain sight. Together, we're building gardens that thrive not through expensive inputs, but through understanding and working with the natural systems that have sustained life for millennia. Your kitchen waste is about to become your garden's secret weapon. Let's get fermenting.